Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be using the Fawn tiny gift box chicken duck and the stitched pond and the stitch pond frame. I'm also going to use these little wave accents in my pond. So I've done all the prep and I've got a frost blue and a cracked pistachio ink and Copic marker. I've also got an MFT grassy border stencil, and I'm just showing you, there's the frame and the stitched pond, and then within the stitched pond on the vellum piece that I've cut, I've used those little accent pieces to just make it look like ripples in the water. I just thought that was a nice touch. But it also cuts like a little gap so that you can stick things in. So I think you're going to like this. My husband was impressed. I think you're going to like this. Anyway, at the back of the vellum is where I've put the Copic marker, at least, but it didn't show up enough on the front. So I just took a slightly darker blue, and it just highlights that there's like the little ripples in the water. I have a standard A2 size card, and I'm going to, this is in mint macaron by Stampin' Up, and I'm going to just, on the score line, I'm just going to add some tape just so I don't go over that edge. I just want it on the front of the card. This is going to be the easiest card ever, guys, as well. Really quite quick. The die cutting took longer than the card. And I'm just using the borders, the grassy borders, and a blender brush. This is actually a makeup brush. Guys have seen them before in my videos. And the oxide cracked, not picked, cracked pistachio ink. In hindsight, I should have used either the regular distress ink in cracked pistachio, or I should have used a darker green. After it dried lighter than this, and so it's even more subtle than what you can see here. So I wanted that sort of grassiness in the background that you would have sort of around a pond, but I didn't want it to be sort of in your face. But this was a little too subtle, so sometimes you just got to play with these things. But obviously at the time I didn't realize it was gonna, I don't know why I didn't realize this, but it dries slightly lighter, so I didn't quite realize how light it was going to go. And honestly, when you look at the card now, it's sort of like barely there, but it's fine. I may have to go back in and do a bit of tweaking or something, I don't know. So for my I'm going to put the chicken, the duck die together first. So the duck comes with a few little pieces. So you've got his little feet, some cheeks, and his little duck bill, and his wings. And then in the pond die, there is a, let me get this right, cat tail. So I've cut the cat tails out. There's one with one on its own, and there's one with two, like two together. So I'm popping these little, I don't know what the top of a cattail is called. Is that the actual cattail? I don't know. I'm not like, I know nothing. I'm surprised I remember the name of this thing, but anyway. So I'm just putting that on in some brown cardstock, and then the leafy part is the green. And then I've also got these two little lily pads on the top there, that are going to just sit as extra accents. I always think that if you're going to make a scene card, then die cut extras, stamp and die cut extras, or stamp and cut out extras. If you don't use them, that's fine. But when you're in the middle of making something, you don't want to suddenly be going, oh, actually, let me go and do something else. Let me go and get another one of those. So sometimes it's easier to cut more than you think you're going to need. This happened to work out okay because I kind of planned a little bit ahead-ish. So I kind of knew how many I think I was happy with. So this worked out fine. But yeah, I always try and stamp extras, or especially for the accent pieces. So things like grass or flowers, or clouds, or things that you may have more of naturally. I think it's good to maybe sort of add more of those in while you're in the middle of doing all your coloring and your inking, or in the middle of all your die cutting, just cut extra. So just putting this little guy together, and really easy to put together. His little feet just go on the bottom of him, at the back, and then the wings sit just behind him. Now the wings, obviously if you're making the box itself, the tiny gift box, they will wrap like around the side of the box. But in this circumstance, I'm going to, and it takes me a minute just to work this one out, because you know I'm like not with it at the moment. So eventually I turn it around so that I can actually see what I'm doing. And I'm just wrapping the wing around the back of him, like I did with the previous video with the little chick. So if you haven't seen that one, then maybe, you know, if you'd like to go and see that one, that'd be great. I'd really appreciate that. And I used the chick version of this little guy. So what I love about this accent, and I was so chuffed when I thought of this because I didn't see anything. I couldn't find anything online. Doesn't mean it's not there. I just couldn't find anything like this online. So I was excited to make this card. And basically I'm going to pop him inside the water, and you're going to see his little feet. This is what's going on in my head. Little feet paddling in the water. They're not actually paddling, but that's the idea. And then I also thought it'd be kind of fun to add some googly eyes to him. And I always think googly eyes, I think Halloween for some reason. So they're actually with my Halloween stash. But actually googly eyes go for anything. They're eyes, right? And I think it looks so cute on him. I think because he's also a white duck. So maybe that's why. And then for my... that started putting the pond together, I'm going to use some wet adhesive. For some reason, wet adhesive and vellum seems to, it reacts funny. It kind of goes almost like crispy. It's really weird. So I just kept patting it down around the edge, got the excess glue out of there, just until I was happy. So the inside pieces of that, there's glue just around the outside, so everything on the inside is not stuck. But I can stick my little duck in there. I was so chuffed with this. So if you don't have the wavy accents or anything like that, but you've got a little character like this, if you've cut him out of, say, a cricket cartridge, you could do the same thing. Just cut a little line in your vellum and create your pond and stick him in there. And look at that. He looks like he's in the water. Seriously? Anyway, I got a bit overexcited about it. I just couldn't help myself. So I'm going to do the same thing. I think I'm just going to get placement of the lilies, and I know they're upside down, but thankfully I remembered this before I stuck anything. I'm going to get the frame put on now. Now the frame, I mean, Kelly, again, she does some fantastic videos, and so does her team, design team, and she creates with the frame die, she actually creates like a shaker using that frame. So that's perfect for a pond, like a three-dimensional pond kind of thing. Perfect. Just so pretty. So I'm going to get my little lily pads on first, and this is where I realized that it's upside down. Yeah, but it's fine. I fixed it before it got too stuck. And then again, and this is a little bit fiddly because obviously the little cattails, they're a little flimsy, but I was chuffed. I'm just placing them where I think I'm going to want them. And I did kind of plan that bit out, so I knew roughly where they would go. And the really tiny accent piece that it cut out, not impossible, but like I say, the cattails are a little flimsy, so it's a little tricky to kind of open the gap in the water, the little ripple, and in the vellum, and then get your cattail in there. Not impossible, doesn't take that long. It's not like the grass on a video couple back that was more frustrating than this was, kind of thing. But it goes in pretty easy, and once you've got a bit of adhesive, I had adhesive on the back and I just stuck them on there, and it's perfect. So even now you can see the grass isn't quite so prominent. It's not so bad on the top right of the card, but the left hand side looks like I haven't done anything with it. So when you're inking, just bear that in mind. So for the sentiment, I'm going to use Longthorn's Rubber Dub. It actually has the perfect sentiment in there, and again, I've done this with a few videos where the sentiment is also for you guys. I get the support and the love from you guys for my channel, and I can't do this without you. So I love sharing these things, and I will probably forevermore share these things with you. But the fact that you guys comment and you like and you share and you know, that means the world to me, and all the subscribers as well. So I can't, like I say, I can't, it helps my channel when you guys do things like that. So what I did with the sentiment is there's part of one sentiment and part of another that I wanted. Sorry, I wanted one of the top line I wanted, but the bottom strip I actually wanted only one or two of the words. So I just used a piece of washi tape and sort of taped off the bit that I didn't want, inked it, then took the washi tape off, and then it only stamped the words that I wanted. It's just the easiest way. Just obviously remember to take your washi tape off, or you'll be stamping a big blob of ink on your project, which you don't want. So I am just going to stick this flat now. I could have raised it up, but I thought it had enough dimension just with the little bits and bats on there, and you know, his googly eyes and things like that. So but yeah, I could have raised it up even more. Yeah, I just thought I'd fix up the duck part, the D of the duck. And I am a lucky duck to have you. I'm a lucky duck to have the family I have. I am very lucky to have the home I have, my pets who are my kids. If I talk about my kids, that's my animals. I don't have kids, like human ones, I mean. So my kids are my animals. You know, I'm very lucky. My whole life is one big ball of luck. And I know life is hard at the moment. I know it, especially at the moment. But I am so lucky to have not only you guys, but like I say, my channel. And I'm so grateful for all of you. So I hope that you have enjoyed this card. I'm so chuffed with my little duck in the water. So I hope you guys give this a whirl. Yeah, keep swimming, guys. Just keep swimming. That's a different card. That's a different animal altogether. But anyway, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks, guys. Bye.